Happy Thursday. I am Vernica Delancey, your host of Let's Talk TCI Real Estate. It's always a pleasure to be in your homes on a Thursday afternoon. So please share the page, let someone know that I am on live. Let's Talk TCI Real Estate. So basically, thank you for joining the conversation today. Please let me have your comments and feedback about the topic. Feel free to type in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. So our subject of today actually is about real estate empowerment. This subject can be discussed in various ways, but today I would like to focus on how you can empower yourself by investing in real estate and by using the real estate that you already have in your possession. Okay? So basically, like I want to just say for one last time, please comment. If you have a comment, I'm monitoring it on my phone just in case. If you have a comment or a question, please feel free to put it in the comment section. So just to reiterate a bit, and we're moving forward. So basically our subject of today is about real estate empowerment. This subject can be discussed in various ways, but today definitely I would like to focus on how you can empower yourself by investing in real estate and by using the real estate that you already have in your possession. So two of the previous episodes of Let's Talk TCI Real Estate, I actually had Mr. Drexel Seymour on. He spoke about land empowerment, and I also had the privilege of having Mr. Ed Wood Forbes on, and he spoke about generational wealth. So basically, both of them touched on the same subject of empowerment, but just in a different way. So these two great episodes, definitely you should consider taking another watch of it, and you can find these on my YouTube channel, and my YouTube channel name is just simply put Vernica Delancey. So let's dive right into the subject of today about real estate empowerment. Please, again, I don't want to sound like a robot, just throwing information out there. So if you have a comment or question, feel free to put it in the comment section. So you may ask yourself, well, how can you empower yourself by investing in real estate? You know, how can you go about it? So we can start by stating some of the obvious points. Basically, if you have not purchased any real estate, start by buying, I would say, a piece of land. Buying real estate will increase your asset value. An increase in asset value means an increase in your ability to generate revenue and to build your business. So basically, by investing in real estate, you are increasing your asset value, and because of this, it's gonna give you that ability to generate revenue and to build your business. So this is one simple way of just empowerment through real estate, right? So I spoke about land first because land is a fixed asset that does not depreciate, and there is no expiry date on a parcel of land. So its use may change, but it always has some economic benefit. So therefore, I believe an investment in land is actually a good investment when you are thinking about empowerment through real estate. So most lots, depending on the size, vacant lot that is, have the ability to be mutated. Think about it. So investing in say for example, a 1 acre size lot, you can create your mini subdivision, making you a subdivision owner. Building your dwelling on one lot, and then you can develop the others for income purposes, or sell a portion to help with the development of your dream project. So that's a way of empowering, again, yourself through real estate investment. Being able to subdivide, being able to have a dwelling home or dwelling plot of land for yourself, and also be able to generate income through either selling a portion of it or developing it to create further income, right? So that's another way of thinking about vacant land and using it as a form of investment and empowerment for you in real estate. So another thing I would like to say is definitely like that vacant lots is basically an easy starting point for many, as the price range is more reasonable in most cases, that is. So if you venture over to the other islands, say for example, North Caicos, Middle Caicos, Grand Turk, those other islands and invest, those prices are more favorable. So prices are only increasing as development happens. So I would suggest you don't get left behind in the shuffle of things. And that's why it's a very good idea if you want to tap into the market. If you cannot afford the prices that are in Providenciales, perhaps you would want to look into the outer islands. I know I've said this so many times before, but I cannot say it enough times because it's a very good idea. There are opportunities on all of the outer islands, and trust me, I feel that those islands are soon gonna be developing at a faster pace, and you would have wished that you would have tapped into the market at this stage and made a purchase while the prices are affordable. So do it now while you can afford those lots, because it's only going to increase in value in future and be of a great asset for you. So another thing I would say to you is that you know that having freehold title and no property taxes gives you an advantage. Yes, in the Turks and Caicos Islands, we have freehold title, and this is, a lot of people don't really understand the importance of it, but having freehold title means a lot. And having no property taxes also, like I say, gives you an advantage. You can actually hold on to that piece of land for as long as you want to and wait for it to appreciate in value while not paying any monthly fees or taxes. Some people refer to it as dead money because, you know, I mean, they say because like once you own a lot, you're not getting a monthly income from it. No, you're not. A vacant piece of land. However, you have to think about the appreciation rate after you've held on to it for a period of time. That's where the real value would come in. So I think that investing in land does have its benefit and is a means of empowering yourself through real estate investment. Okay? So basically, like I say, no property taxes, and the fact that it's freehold, it gives you that advantage, right? I would also say this: you have purchased a lot. Say you have purchased a vacant land for, say, over 1 year. You may decide to apply to the bank for a loan or for some other personal advancement. You now have something you can get equity from in order to help you achieve your now goal. So land always comes in handy. Even though you do not have that hard cash, you do not have to sell. You can use that equity to your advantage. So basically, your borrowing power increases once you have equity. All right? I'm telling you a lot of these things because I've also experienced it and I've also tapped into it. So I understand the advantage of having it when you think not, you know? So like I say, you may have purchased a vacant lot, just like you say, land banked, purchase that, hoping that it increases in value. And a few years later, you just end up in a position where you need to get access to funds. So what you can do is use that parcel as collateral. So basically, it empowers you to be able to make help you with that business opportunity that you are trying to achieve. You don't have to sell the land. All you're doing is using it as collateral or using the equity from that land. This also applies to home. If you have a house, after a period of time, you can check to see how much equity is in that house and be able to pull equity out of that house to help you with another purchase or help you, like I say, to further your business goals in some other way, right? So if you haven't purchased yet, these are just some of the things that you can think about that will be a benefit to you if you do, because it does help to empower you, especially financially in the long run. All right. Another thing I would like to pinpoint and say is that, the Turks and Caicos Islands, we still have a large portion of generational land. I've had the privilege of conversing with Mr. George Mizik. He is an attorney. I've had him on one of the episodes. Yes, definitely you can review that episode again, like I say, on my YouTube channel, which is Vernica Delancey. He's very knowledgeable about the process of administrating and probating on these kinds of land. So basically, there are also, but let me say, there are also other capable attorneys on island as well that are not, therefore, you're not limited to your options, right? So Mr. George Miska is a very good attorney, but just in case, you may know someone else. They're very good attorneys. They can help you with this process of administrating on generational land. So basically, have one of those attorneys help you with getting those parcels title clear and use them to your advantage. All of you who have generational land, you are actually sitting on wealth. That's your access to improve your status and to empower you. Let me say that again. Every one of you who are sitting on generational land, you're sitting on wealth. That's your access to improve your status and to empower you and your family. Again, like I said, this is a subject we spoke about with Mr. Ed Forbes, and we talk about generational wealth. So if you have generational land, use it to your advantage because it can help you to move further in life and where you need to be to achieve your goals. Here's another idea. Of course, just let me pause for a minute. Again, if you have questions or comments, please feel free to put it in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions or also to read any comments. I appreciate the comments, whether good or bad. I would like to hear how you feel about real estate as being an empowerment for you, right? So here's another idea. It's not a common one on the island, but it has been done. If you have a piece of land, consider leasing your land if possible, but that is if it is a sound opportunity, if a sound opportunity comes up. Make sure dot your I's, cross your T's, get an attorney involved as well. I just want to say that to you, but that's not an impossible idea. I have known of persons who have used vacant land and have actually leased it out for parking lots for different sorts of things, and they are then getting a monthly income from their real estate, okay? Right, so I'm just gonna move away from land just for a little bit and focus on homes a bit, right? So owning your dwelling home basically is one of the common ways a person can increase their net worth. So your value increases while having a secured roof over your head at the same time. Yes, so basically, if you, I will encourage you, if you're not a homeowner, think about becoming a homeowner because this is a good way of increasing your value and increasing your network, right? Your home is one of your biggest assets. So definitely it would make sense to invest in keeping it maintained so that the value would improve over time as well. So after making that purchase, take your time, upgrade as much as possible. So for example, always keep your yard clean, your grass trimmed, take care of cracks when they appear, get regular termite inspections done. Don't allow your biggest asset to lose value. I wanted to state that or just talk about it a little bit because, you know, some of us as homeowners, we get excited about getting into our own dwelling home. And then when we already get into it, we don't take the time to care for it. Remember, if it's your biggest asset, you want to care for it because you don't know in future if you have to borrow against it or if you, for any reason, have to sell for any particular reason. You're only going to increase your value if you maintain the home in a good way, right? So that's something you would want to consider. The other thing I would say about real estate being an empowerment to people, there is a shortage of corporate and standard affordable rental apartments on the island. Did you hear me? A shortage of corporate and standard affordable rental apartments on the island. Affordable rental apartments. If you start by building a duplex, there's enough business to get those units rented. So basically, live in half, rent the other half. This will provide extra income apart from your job to give you an easement on a daily basis in terms of your bill. So if you are thinking about what it is that I would probably need to do to, what type of investment will be good if I want to get into real estate? That's a lucrative opportunity. There's a shortage of corporate and standard affordable rentals on the island, right? Why is this? Mostly because a lot of people are turning their rentals into short-term opportunities. And because of this, we have a shortage of long-term opportunities for residents on island and affordable rental opportunities, okay? And because I spoke about short-term rentals, vacation rental is also a growing real estate business on the island. Vacation rental is also a growing real estate business on the island. So think about a rental investment for short-term purposes. Start small with a property that you can manage price-wise and then grow as your income increase. I just want to stick a pin right there. A lot of people realize that vacation rental is a growing real estate business on the island. And I have known about a number of persons, even residents on islands, who have contacted about thinking about getting into short-term opportunities. A lot of times, sometimes the properties may be out of their reach, but my advice to them is always, once you can find a rental in an affordable price range in a good location, it doesn't have to be beachfront, right? Most of our guests that come to the islands are repeat customers, and they also have transportation. They are driving, they are familiar with the streets. So they will actually, for some of them, be in a vacation rental that's not on the beach. They just want to be on island because we have so many beach accesses that they can get access to because our beaches are private. So don't let not finding something on the beach deter you. Definitely, if you can afford a beachfront property, that's a plus. But if you cannot, do not allow that to stop you from trying to invest in a rental opportunity for short-term business, okay? So just to repeat, vacation rentals is a growing real estate business on islands. So if you can, tap into the short-term rental opportunities. I think that's a good way of empowering yourself through real estate, through a lucrative business opportunity, right? So for anyone who already have the mindset to build a villa for short-term rental purposes, please do not think that you need, this is another thing, a 1 acre parcel of land. There are villas that are on smaller lots. Also, it is great to think big, definitely, but sometimes we have to downscale in order to get ourselves in a position to get into the market first. That's the main thing. Get yourself in a position to get into the market. So for example, just randomly, just thinking, the land you purchase may be of medium density. So medium density right now allows you 3 to 4 homes to be built on that lot, right? You may have to start with 1 or 2 units first, so definitely have a master plan and position the home on the section of the lot to allow for improvements of additional units at a future date when you are in a position to draw equity out of your property and help to build those vacation rentals, all right? So think big, but also be creative in how you can start with what you have and then improve at a later date, right? And remember, you don't have to go horizontal, you can go vertical. So the size of the land, yes, it does matter depending on the project you want to do, but that doesn't prohibit you from doing a vacation rental property if it's, say, for example, if it's not 1 acre in size. This is something you can speak with your real estate agent about or your architect about, and they will be able to guide you as to how many units can be placed on that property, right? So don't be deterred and don't be fixed that you must have 1 acre lot in order to start and think about your vacation rental short-term project, right? So basically, all that I've said, they are just some of the suggestions on what you can do, to empower yourself through land ownership, also through home ownership, through properties that you have in terms of generational properties. You can use that to empower yourself, right? So one may say, well, Vernica, you're talking about all these things, but I don't have the means to make the real estate purchase that you're talking about. I can give you a few suggestions. These are not the end all and the be all. These are not gonna have you, may not be an immediate fix, but these are some things you need to think about. So I'll say number 1, start with intentional savings. Yes, I said it. Intentional savings. Create a savings account that is fixed where monies cannot be touched and work towards a deposit. Let's start intentionally saving towards our real estate purchase, right? Two, find someone to partner with. Now, partnering can be in so many forms. Partnering can be in the form of two persons purchasing a one parcel of land, pulling your resources together. But also, you can think about your relative may own a piece of government land, just for example, right? And they may be struggling to pay the lease on that property. Why not partner with them and come up with a building design where you both can benefit and help achieve your real estate goal faster? Don't think about it as just being their property. Think about it as to see how both of you can benefit and you can reach your real estate goal faster. Because your relative has the land, you may have that additional deposits or capital to help to improve on it. So partner up and work together. I'll say number three, to purchase a cheap land on one of the outer islands. Perhaps you need to look into, someone may say, like I've said before, why not purchase a cheaper plot of land on North Acres, Mill Acres, or somewhere like that, right? Perhaps you need to look into getting a vacation loan or a non-secure loan and use that money towards the purchase. Instead of going the conventional route and trying to get a loan or mortgage, think about it. Because of the size of the loan, you may not need to go that route. You just need to apply for a vacation loan that is much easier to get, and based on that can help you towards that purchase. Because some of you may have had a savings already. You can use the savings plus that vacation loans, put it together, and you can make that purchase. Does it work? I do know of persons who have used this method to purchase property on the island of North Acres and on the island of Grand Turk already. Okay, so I know it can work. You know, it may not be your ideal property, but if you want to tap into the market, if you want to start by investing in land and trying to empower yourself, remember that it's the end benefit. This is just a creative way of thinking about what you can do in order to come up with those funds, right? All right, number four, I would say, why not think about a lucrative business idea? Work along with groups like TC Invest and tap into their small business programs where they can help you to find a way to start up that hidden business idea that you have and develop it, and to be able to put you in a better place to generate revenue to start a more lucrative saving, right? So that's another idea. And I would say probably number five, of course, this is not an exhaustive list. These are just a few things I'm thinking about. Don't just stay with one bank. Get pre-qualification from all the banks and see who can give you the best options to make your purchase a reality. You know, a lot of times we do start with, I always say, start with your primary banker, because this is where all your funds are deposited, and they definitely will have a history of your savings, you know, into the bank. But that doesn't mean that you cannot venture out and go and check other banks out to see what they can offer you. They can offer you better terms and conditions and an easier way to be able to facilitate that purchase. So I always say, check all the banks and don't give up. Be consistent. I know sometimes that it's not easy. You know, sometimes the banks are just like fast and processing everything. Sometimes it does take a slower timeline, but don't give up. Don't let your real estate dreams go downhill just because of one bad incident. Continue checking with the banks and keep working at it until you make it happen. So again, like I said, so far, no comments, and we are just here just to talk about ways in which real estate can empower you. You know, we always talk about empowerment in the Turks and Caicos Islands, and this is a way to empower yourself. There are so many other methods, but of course, real estate is my profession. Therefore, I'm going to bring it to you in the light of, you know, investing in real estate. I've done it. So I'm not just talking to you just from a real estate standpoint, but I've done it for myself as a Turks and Caicos Islander, and I know you can do it as well, and I encourage you to do it. So we're almost done with the show, of course, so I just want to say, you know, by tapping into the real estate market, you're not just empowering yourself, but also you're building that generational wealth for the future. I'll say that again. You're not just empowering yourself by tapping into the real estate market, but you are also building that generational wealth for the future. When a person is empowered, they become more confident, more committed, more creative, and even more analytically more competent, right? So I would say to you, be clear on the direction you want to go into. Associate yourself with an agent who can work along with you from start to finish, that can help you to achieve that real estate goal. Before we wrap it up, I just would like to share just a short little excerpt from an article that I read recently that was written in the New York Times, and is actually about investing in real estate as self-care. Investing in real estate as self-care. So I just wrote it down, so I'm just going to read just a little bit of it because I thought this was very fitting for this session today. So it reads, Rochelle was 2 weeks shy of closing on a house with her partner of 10 years when her relationship imploded. Her future suddenly snapped into focus. She was 30 and had a successful career as a marketing strategist, but she'd never really truly secure. She had never feel truly secure without a permanent roof over her head, right? She took a leap in 2019 and bought an investment property, a duplex, intending to live in one unit and rent the other unit. So it was the crappiest house on the block, she had said, but it was what she could afford. Did you hear that? It was what Rochelle could have afforded. She had made the decision entirely from a financial standpoint. What she didn't realize was how much confidence and pride and empowerment she would feel. So when I saw this little clipping, it was quite short, but a few things I got out of this based on even what I've said to you earlier, right? She never felt secure without a permanent roof over her head, even though she was in a relationship. So she decided to take that leap of faith in 2019, and she purchased an investment property. It was a duplex. And of course, like she said, it was the crappiest house. So basically it wasn't something that she had loved. It was not her ideal property, but she invested in it, right? Because that is what she could have afforded. She made the decision basically on a financial standpoint. But like the article said, what she didn't realize was how much confidence and pride and empowerment she felt after she did it. This is just a prime example of how investing in real estate can empower you. It can empower you in so many ways. It can empower you emotionally. It can empower you also financially. It can give you stability that you never thought you would have had, but even in future, it can create that stability for you. So if you have never thought about investing in real estate, I think you should take a leap of faith, find creative ways probably to approach the situation, but start thinking about it. And I think it's a good idea. So again, thank you for listening to Let's Talk TCI Real Estate. I am only here just to talk about real estate, bring the topics to you. I'm always open to questions or comments. If I don't see any questions, if I don't see any comments, I'm just gonna keep chatting away because that's something I'm really good at. I'm really good at talking. So definitely, if you have any topic that you would love for me to address, this show is basically to educate you about real estate in the Turks and Caicos Islands. So if there's a topic you would like for me to speak about, always feel free to reach out to me or leave it in the comment section after each show, and I will be sure to address those subjects for you to make sure that you understand real estate in the Turks and Caicos Islands. So again, thank you for all of you who have listened. And until next time, I will say to you, stay safe and remain blessed. Have a very, very good Thursday afternoon. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on this show belong solely to Let's Talk TCI Real Estate and not that of Keller Williams TCI or any of its affiliates. Any action you take upon the information provided on this show is strictly at your own risk and Let's Talk TCI Real Estate guest or host will not be liable for any losses and damages in connection with the use of the material. I am not an investment advisor, broker, or dealer.